opening statement.
Well, first I want to thank our fans for showing up at our watch party. I thought that was a great display of the amount of support that they've shown throughout the season, and I was very excited to share that moment with them and obviously our team. Secondly, I want to congratulate all our SEC affiliates for their contributions in such a historic moment, having 14 of the 16 teams having their name called in the NCAA tournament is something that is, it's unreal. It's unbelievable. But we kind of expected it, and I'm thankful that the committee made that decision. Our team is excited. Like I said before, Wichita is the site. We'll be facing a tough opponent that I'll study. Our staff will get to it as soon as possible. And ultimately, it's a driving distance for our fan base, and we're excited about that to share the moment with them as well.
All right, questions for Coach and Caleb Grill?
Caleb, what was the reaction when you saw the location pop up?
It's exciting just because of the amount of miles that my mom and my dad and my brothers have put in, and the rest of my family members have put in. So having them be able to have a game close to them and where I got to travel to them, I think that's what I'm more excited about more than anything, is to see how many of those close family members that I've had come throughout the whole year, and being able, to play within, 10, 15 minutes of where they live. I'm more excited about that part and being able to go back home.
Caleb, have you played in that arena before?
I've never played there.
Coach, what was kind of your first reaction when you saw Drake was going to be the team that y'all go up against?
Well, the first thing I looked at was our name and making sure that, those moments are taken in. You can't take these moments for granted, so we're thankful to be in the tournament. I have great respect for all opponents that have made the NCAA tournament. It means that they've done a great job. I don't have anything specifically about our opponent, but we will study it, and we'll study them historically. It's a first round game, and anything can happen. Rankings and bids and all that other stuff doesn't matter. All teams are capable of winning games, and we respect our opponents.
Caleb, what advice do you think you can offer to your teammates as one that has been to the NCAA tournament before?
I mean, just like how Coach said, every team that's in the NCAA tournament is a great team. They've either won their conference tournament, or they've won a certain amount of quad 1 or certain amount of quad 2 games to earn themselves the at-large bid. So every team that's here is a really good team, and you have to go in with the mentality that every possession matters, because you don't know what the score is going to be. And the games I played in the NCAA tournament were all low scoring, and every single possession mattered, because if one person made one mistake, it could cost a 3. But in games where it can get into a defensive slugfest, a 3 could really be worth 5 points. So just every possession matters, and we just got to continue to play for one another.
Coach, from a travel perspective, how beneficial is it for your team specifically to be able to go to somewhere close like Wichita instead of somewhere like Providence or Cleveland, which would have been a lot further away, obviously?
I just look at it from the standpoint of this. We're thankful to have our name called. First and foremost, we wasn't sitting here at all. You guys wasn't sitting here at all last year, so I don't take that moment for granted at all. I share it with our fans, our alumni, our former students, our future students, right? It's a moment to put not only our conference, but our institution, the City of Columbia, in a place where our history belongs, right? Norm Stewart has done tremendous things for this institution, and to stand on the shoulders of those coaches that have made the tournament before us it's important to me. And ultimately, playing in this tournament is important. As it relates to the distance, what I do think it gives our fans a drivable distance to support us like they've been supporting us all season long, and I'm thankful for it. They could have said we're going to be, our site is going to be on the moon, right? We would be thankful. They could have said several different places. We were going to be excited. None more excited or less excited than the next. I think there's a lot of teams that wish their name got called that's not able to continue their season in the NCAA tournament. Again, one of 14 teams. It's a historic moment, and it's something that has not been done in a long time or even at all. And I'm thankful we're a part of it. I'm a part of it as the head men's basketball coach. But these young people get to really play in a platform that is, filled with memories. And, I just take it from there, man.
Caleb, after last season and being one of the returning players, how gratifying is it to hear your name called a year later?
This is just what everyone dreams about when they play basketball at college. Growing up, everybody wants to go to the NCAA tournament, and all the hard work you put in since you first got here in June with this team, it's just paid off. How connected we've gotten with one another, and the connectivity that we had, that really brought us together a lot faster. And we're just so grateful that our name was called today, and we just got to prepare for the next game.
Caleb, on a personal level, going through injuries and medical labor to get back here this year, how pleasing was it to hear that today, just for you?
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of years dealing with injuries, and being able to play most of the season fairly healthy. I can't thank our doctors here, our athletic training staff, strength coach, just all really helping me stay healthy and doing everything they can to make me game ready for each game going forward. And I can't give them enough credit for helping them keep me healthy throughout the whole course of the season. Now that the time is here, it's just, like I said earlier, this is what we dreamed of doing when we were little. So we just got to take advantage of the opportunity that we're given.
Dennis, from a logistical standpoint, I don't know if you know everything yet, but what will this week be like for you guys as far as practice, travel, scouting, multiple teams, all that?
Well, we'll have a staff meeting here. My assistants they're meeting right now in preparation for my meeting with them. And we'll just dive in how we've normally have done our scouting in terms of, breaking down the opponent. And it's not about looking at the next, it's about looking at our current, opponent. And we're gonna respect them how we have always respected the opposition. But Coach Smith-Peters and Coach Ryan Charball, they'll be on the defensive side of the ball. Coach Summers and Coach Klein will be on the offensive side of the ball. You guys know how our staff dynamics are when it comes down to it. We have several former head coaches. Coach Nutt is a former head coach. Coach Carter is a former head coach. Charlton Young, our associate head coach, is a former head coach. They'll have their perspective on it. And then it'll be my finishing touches. And we got to do a great job and fall in love and continue to be in love with the process, as our guys have mentioned, when it came down to preparation and opponents. So the best thing about it is the style of play. Our SEC conference has prepared us for every moment possible. What we cannot predict is what situation will come up in game. But also we have a group of guys that's going to be sitting on the edge of their seat, eyes wide open, ears wide open, and being prepared to receive a game plan from us. And I'm excited to participate in this NCAA tournament.
Coach, what's kind of your message to players who have maybe never experienced the NCAA tournament before?
Well, first, I think all kids have. They've experienced it. When you look at our team specifically, they're basketball savants. These guys study basketball, they watch it. They have probably predicted, along with myself, that we would get possibly 14 teams in. They are students of the game. So for me as a head coach, we have a group of guys that love the sport and love to watch it. And now it's our job to settle whatever nerves that could exist of guys who've never played in a tournament and making sure they know what's going on. But I can tell you this, we just came from the SEC tournament, and that's a great neutral site venue that prepares you for whatever's next after that. And that's what we'll take. The conversations have been at a minimum because I've come from celebrating with our team, our name being called, to doing media with you guys. So we'll have everything in line. But the players, they talk to each other. They're excited. They're giddy. We just got to make sure our nerves don't get too far away from us in excitement.
Final question?
Coach, just seeing how the SEC showed with the amount of teams, what do you think that says about the conference, and just how tough was it to play in the conference this year?
Well, now that we have 14, let's see how far we can go. And collectively, I'll be cheering for all SEC teams. As you can see in some of the brackets, you have potential SEC matchups in the round of 32, not the round of 64, but the round of 32. You have potential matchups taking place. And, you know, my whole thing is making sure that, you know, and I said it my last press conference in the SEC, to make sure we as a conference don't give anybody outside of our conference a hand in preparing. I think that's very important as we move forward, and that's the art of the tournament and tournament play. Everyone has the same amount of time to prepare. The first round, everybody has the same amount of time, and then the next round, in between a win and you see an opponent or the next round lose, you have the same amount of time. So I just hope we adhere as a conference and make sure, you know, we protect, you know, our brand, our SEC brand. And that's important to me. As you guys know, I've been a proponent for SEC. I said it in year one when I was hoping to get 9 teams in, 10 teams in, right? I think this year, you know, once I saw the 13 become 14, I'm gonna be verbally communicating what I feel about our conference, and I'm proud of all our coaches, all our players in the SEC, and I'm thankful to represent the University of Missouri.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks.
MIZ.